Yeah.
Steve, let me bring you into this. How fundamental is private investment in agriculture? Because in Nigeria now, we are torn between the government helping the agricultural sector and bringing the private sector into it, especially not just in the form of subsistence farming we're seeing right now, in the form of production, let me put it that way, but also private investment in food processing. So how fundamental is private investment?
It is really fundamental. I mean, all world leaders these days are talking about the food security. Growing population in the world is really becoming a challenge. Economic challenges, political challenges, challenges from climate factors and things like that. You need to find the best possible way between public-private partnerships. And that is also how the international institutions look at it, World Bank and so on. They look at this concept of engaging private funds, private funding, private companies, entities into the, which was before a public task to develop agriculture. But you have to join hands here. That's how we see it. And we also see that in many cases, the private difference with the private capital can make the difference of the project. From a Danish perspective, we feel we have the know-how, we have the technology, we can bring this into selected areas where we define what specific project we want to develop.
What are those,
we have to look at sustainability, of course.
Okay. Which areas are you taking a look at now? Because when you're talking of agriculture, it's vast actually. We have crop production, livestock, and all of that.
We are trying to identify a couple of projects where we will start. Dairy farming is one thing. I mean, I'm sure we all agree that it's a good thing that we can bring milk not only to children, but I mean to consumers as a whole. Also, when you look into the meat sector, how can we produce better meat for the consumer market? It's also a matter of nutrition. It's also a matter of course, marketing a new product that can satisfy demanding consumers. I mean, there's a huge consumer market in Nigeria coming up here, and the consumers, they should have the best possible food they can get. And by certain investments in this sector, you can do that. We can produce, of course, the meat in the right way. We can cut it up in the right way. We can present it to the consumers in the right way. And that is all to the advantage of the consumer markets and also to the economy as a whole.
So that means that you are bringing into the fold Nigerian farmers into all of this. So it's not just, let's say, it's not about, because a lot has been said, that Nigeria, we're a consuming nation, and we have the capacity to produce what we eat actually, and eat what we produce. So it's not a matter of seeing countries like dump, Nigeria not being a dumping ground, isn't it?
No, you have all the, you can say, the basics to be a very wealthy, producing agricultural nation. It doesn't happen today for different reasons. And that is what I think we, together with Leisure Group and Danish investors, Danish agricultural institutions, would like to change. Step by step. You don't take a ladder by jumping to the top, you take it step by step. And you need to engage the farmers, you need to engage and train, educate people so they know how to develop the business. As I can use an example, over the last 25 years, the agricultural production in Denmark have grown by 25%, but the pollution footsteps have dropped by 45%. So you can see we are getting more and more healthy, and at the same time we have managed to increase the production. Some of these things we can use in Nigeria, right? But we need to take it step by step. I don't think that you can say a Nigerian cow, will produce 30 liters of milk the first day.
No, it doesn't do that now.
Right, but they do that in Denmark. So, but if we can bring it from, let's say, the 3 or 4 liters today to 10, that would do a dramatic difference